Yes, hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes?
Die Hard, Walk in the Clouds.
Hold on. What is it?
Yeah, you guys have a lot of prints in stock?
A lot of what? It is a rental place, DVD rental place.
Yeah, I'm looking to rent some movies. You got some movies there?
Yeah, I got a movie here.
VHS DVD?
No VHS.
So what are your hours?
11 to 9.
11 to 9?
Yep.
Fahrenheit 9/11 by Michael Moore was a good one. Do you have that?
What is it?
Fahrenheit 9/11 with Michael Moore, sweetie.
No, I don't have that.
You don't have that? What do you got? Just name me a few things. I want to come on down there. I want to get in there.
I got 6,000 movies right here.
You got 6,000 movies. You can just tell me just one or two of them.
Okay, I got one. Legend. Call of Honors.
Legend. That's good.
Eye of the Sky.
Eye of the Sky.
Riding Along 2. The Boss. Miracle in Heaven. London's Falling Down. Anything else?
Keanu Reeves.
Huh?
Keanu Reeves. Michael
Why don't
Doug.
you come over and check it out, okay?
I'm going to come down there and Michael Douglas all over you.
What is that?
I'm going to come down there and get some Michael Douglas. Do you have any of that?
What is Michael Douglas?
Michael Douglas is this thing where you make movies. And have you ever seen...
Yeah, I know. What's the title? What is the title?
Romancing the Stone?
No, don't have
The
it.
Game?
No.
We got a real problem here. What's your name again?
What do you mean I got a problem right here? I don't have those movies. Those movies are too old. Nobody asked for it.
6,000 movies.
Yeah, I got 6,000 movies. Not the one you want.
Crash with Don Cheadle?
No.
The Last Airbender, directed by M. Night Shyamalan?
No, nothing you want. Whatever you say, I don't have it.
But Harrison Ford?
All right.
Hello, Interstellar with Matt Damon.
I don't have it.
You got Brad Pitt.
So, coming down.
Shawshank Redemption.
You have to come and see it.
Reservoir Dogs. Do you guys do just VHS and DVD, or
No, just DVD and
just
Blu-ray.
DVD, Blu-ray? Fargo, Life is Beautiful.
No Fargo. Life is beautiful. No. Reservoir Dogs sold out.
Tom Cruise.
I'm sorry?
Tom Cruise. Lord of the Rings.
Tom Cruise and Lord of the Rings?
Shia LaBeouf. Movies. Is there any paraphernalia? TVs, posters,
No.
video cameras? Do you do the sexual movies? Is there an adult section?
Yes, we do.
Tell what's up with the adult section? How many titles? Talking 20, 80,
I don't know how many titles we have. You gotta come and take a look at it. How many you interested?
14, 24.
Come on over.
The Departed, Matt Damon.
Sure.
Select our numbers.
All right. Could you just throw out a couple of your top sellers?
Can I throw what?
Just throw out a couple of your titles for me.
I mean, I don't know what title you're looking for. We got Reservoir Dogs.
Silence of the
We got
Lambs.
Pulp Fiction. No, Silence of the Lambs. Sold out. Main movies, a lot of movies are sold out, brother.
Batman Begins.
Yes.
All right.
On DVD, not on Blu-ray.
But no Shia LaBeouf, just to be clear.
Shia LaBeouf, some movies. I don't know which one. Like Eagle Eyes, maybe.
Seth Rogen's probably gay for James Franco, right?
I can't really answer. I got a customer here, man.
Yeah, no.
So I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, do you got the big discs?
What?
The laser discs, the big dicks.
No, we don't carry laser discs.
You don't carry big dicks?
No big dick. Just small dick.
All right. What about TV? Lord of the Rings?
Gotta go,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Bye.
Hey, Django Unchained. Django Unchained.
Django ain't unchained yet, but he will be.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus is bitch.
Miley Cyrus.
There you go.
Death of the Iron Sun.
Yes, we have them all, man. I gotta go.
Where are you going?
I got more customers, paying customers. I really didn't enjoy talking to you, but I actually got to make some money, so bye.
You don't have any customers, you big fat fucking liar. Let's be real. You ain't seen anybody in there.
Bye.
It was very silly, but the guy was a good sport.
He was a sport, all right.
What are you up to over there?
Apparently we're recording some sort of podcast, and you're on it. I don't know. I probably did it wrong.
You know, you should be ashamed of yourself, but it's okay.
Well, luckily I'm dead inside, and unfortunately I don't react well to alcohol, so I just gotta deal with it.
I get to a point when I'm drinking where I can't even use a phone. I can't even text. I can't. If I get a text, I don't even know how to open it. You know what I mean? It gets that bad, and it's a weird. It's you know what hypoxia is?
No.
It's like when you're on an airplane and there's a pressure leak. And then, they say to put your mask on before you put your kid's mask on because your brain shuts down. And if you don't put yours on fast enough, you're going to your brain will just shut down and you won't be able to put on either one of your masks. But you can stay in this state where you're conscious and you're dying, but you just can't do anything to fix it. I get into that state from drinking, and I literally, I'm conscious. I can sort of say some words, but I just
yeah, you got to know your limits,
Yeah, no doubt. I got too drunk, and then
dude, I don't black out when I drink though, but I become so compelled to talk, but my ability to talk is so diminished that I'm just a babbling idiot. Like, it's the worst.
That 100% happens to me. I start trying to use words that are too big for how drunk I am, and I just say it kind of like it's. I spit all these malapropisms. Like, I'll just say it I sound like Chris from The Sopranos, where I'll be like, I'm standing on, shaky legs, or I'm standing on thin legs, when I'm like combining, I'm sort of combining.
You're just making up your own language. So, yeah. So what's going on?
I was just listening to this Shut the Fuck Up Randy podcast, by the way. Also, you know what, man? I'm getting into politics lately,
After listening to my podcast.
I am.
You're all of a sudden deep into it.
I'm sort of a political guy now, and I'm actually a Republican now.
This has to be a bit, right?
No, I'm like a serious conservative Republican.
But you realize just the way you're saying it, almost with a little bit of a question in your voice. You're like, I'm a Republican now. Like you're almost unsure how it's gonna land, right?
No, I'm actually not. But I like, this is the first political season that I've kind of really followed closely.
All right.
And I've never done this before. I've never voted in my life. I've never cared about politics. And I actually am following politics very closely. But I'm still not going to vote. And I'm not a Republican. And I'm definitely not a Democrat.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hold the phone. Why aren't you voting for Gary Johnson? Why do you hate America?
Well, one vote doesn't count. It doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
If you can explain the math to me where it will matter or make a difference.
Here's how it works, basically. So he needs to get into the debates. If he can get, it used to be 15, they lowered it for him, and it's looking really good like Gary Johnson's going to get into the debates. And him and his vice president, the Libertarian Party picked the most viable vice president ever for the Libertarian Party. So this is the best Libertarian ticket ever, right? Now, if they can get to the debates, there's a chance that they might get to 20, 30%. If they get to 30%, now here's the thing, here's the math, is what they say is that 20% of the population votes Republican, 20% of the population votes Democrat, leaving, that's right, you guessed it, 60% of people that mostly don't vote. If those people could be compelled by the Trump-Hillary debacle, by the new neo-royalty of our current political circus, if that could happen somehow, we could end up in a situation where just there's an outpouring of disaffected Bernie bros, people who want to vote Trump. Like, I'd say I'm like this. I'm right-leaning. I want to vote Trump, but he's kind of crazy, and I would love an alternative, and that is motherfucking Gary motherfucking Johnson. Gary Johnson, he's fiscally conservative, and he's socially liberal, which means it's the best of both worlds, which is where all the Bernie bros and the people that would spite vote Trump. So I'd urge people not to spite vote Trump. But that being said, if you want to fucking if some people just want to watch the world burn, and I love Milo Yiannopoulos to death, so if you want to vote Trump for destruction, you know what I mean? If you want to vote Trump for uncertainty, for novelty, for wild card, I'm definitely all for that. But if you really care about the country, you got to vote Gary Johnson.
Okay.
It's time for a third party, and the math works. The math works. What part of that math is a problem for you, Richard?
So I'll tell you right now. Just the fact that my one vote is never going to be the vote that gets it.
Oh, we're back to that bullshit. No, here's the thing: think about all kinds of trends. They happen when a bunch of people do things in unison. And if this is the one year that for some reason people like you that don't think that their one vote counts turn out,
you still haven't explained that.
Yeah, I did.
You did not.
You're going full Randy on me. Listen. 20% of the people vote Republican, 20% of the people vote Democrat. The majority of people don't vote. If for some reason the people that majority don't vote because there's not a viable third party could be convinced because there was a viable third party in the debate, they could equally be a 20%. So
but my vote is not going to influence other voters in that 60% category. So I'm just one single vote. I'm not going to bring this windfall of other people who don't vote with me.
No, No, that would be a narcissistic way to look at it. What I'm saying is, if for some reason someone like me who is going to vote could persuade someone like you, then there's a chance that that could happen more often. So, for example, when any trend happens, there's reasons and things that attribute to that trend, and there just so happens to be a synchronicity of millions of people doing similar things in unison because of similar ideas developing it with our mainstream media and stuff. So that's all trends, you know what I mean? So let's say like an example I was using recently was the move over to video on demand away from the traditional movie industry. Like when a certain apex of people start actually going, you know what? I'm used to spending like $20 a year on entertainment, but consuming thousands and thousands of dollars of entertainment and pirating a lot of it. But when someone like me, and this is me, the day I actually get around to make that choice, chances are there's probably hundreds of other people who are at that point in their life too, where they're like, you know what, I can afford a couple $100 a year as opposed to the almost nothing a year I've been paying for unlimited entertainment. Like maybe I could fork over a couple $100 a year for unlimited entertainment. And when that shift happens, you see a giant trend take off. And you know what I mean? It's been like that with a lot of different things. There's a book about it. I wish I could quote the author's name, but I smoke too much weed to remember every author's name of every dumb little book I kind of read. You know?
Understandable. And I totally get, you're describing a natural trend in the way people behave.
I think so.
But what you're not explaining is what's catalyzing these trends. And it's not my individual action, and it's not your individual actions.
I would say what's catalyzing this, I think I might have touched on this a little bit, but the disaffected Bernie bros and the kind of the alt-right and the parts of the right that want fiscal conservativeness more than they want social fucking Christian fundamentalism and theocracy. Because that's the only downside to the Republican Party is that they got this weird theocracy thing tacked onto them. But really, if you look at it, the left has their little thing. They got their little cult tacked onto them too, which is the social justice warriors, right? So everyone's going to pander to extremists, and this is why I'm coming back to this 20% thing. There's a great website that Gary Johnson's been toting called isidewith.com. It's been trending in the news. If you could have asked me a week ago, well, why would I go to whodoisidewith.com? You could have asked me that 2 weeks ago, and I would have been like, I don't know, it's just a trend that I think could happen. And I think that there's a good argument for a trend that could happen towards libertarianism at some point. Now, you could definitely put forward the kind of situation where you go, the Illuminati will never let that happen, bro. And I might go with you. I might go with you down that crazy ass road.
I'm not really big on the Illuminati. And I know you're exaggerating when you say that.
Yeah, for sure.
There is some, form of government control that is definitely, they want to stay in power. So there is some validity to that because, of course, the people in power want to stay in power, just like, it always has been. So, there are a lot of structures set in place right now that will resist something like libertarianism. But I think that once that trend happens, if it does happen, I don't think there's much they can do to stop it.
Yeah, that's the talking point, pretty much the takeaway that I'm pushing, but I'm just parroting what I just heard Gary Johnson's vice president guy, and I should know his name, but I'm not that political. I'm more responding to what you were saying about political things. But everyone I've talked to so many people that to me are like, they're either disenchanted with the left or they're just disenchanted with the right. I think that's so many people. Because anyone that's like, yeah, I'm Republican, I'll go, okay, well, where do you stand on the whole theocracy thing that the GOP tends to, get punched in the eye with by the majority of people? The majority of people in the country, they might not be secular, but they have secular values, right? Separation of church and state sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a minority of people who I think have non-secular values and want the state to intervene on that. But those people have hijacked the party. And it's a small subset of people who are all like, well, are you polyphobic, trans, bi-queer, or are you cisgender scum, Blue Lives Matter, bullshit, dictard, shitlord?
Yeah, no doubt.
Dick Cheney was like your fucking granddad or some shit. Oh my God. So those people are in their own little cult,
No, for sure. And I think you're right because first of all, you're doing the thing that I'm not willing to do. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, well, my one vote, it's not enough to influence a trend either way. But
that's narcissistic, though. If you're going to be part of a trend or you're not, right? You don't know till you do it.
Yeah, but a trend, it doesn't happen from just one person acting alone. It's part of a larger flow. It's a pattern that happens, with a large group of people. I don't have any influence myself. People with influence can create a trend, I am not one of those people. Now, what you're doing is going around and you're talking to all these, I'm imagining that I'm not the first person you've had this conversation with, where you're going, hey, you should get out there and vote for Gary Johnson because it could make a difference. And if you're going around doing this and perhaps that influences somebody to have this conversation with their friend and it spiderwebs out, you actually might be contributing to the trend and helping to catalyze it in a way. But I personally am not going to be able to commit to going around trying to, bring people, convince them to vote.
I feel you, man. Like, no one's saying that you need to go be proletariat, but here's the thing is if you decided you're going to vote third party, like, you don't have to, like, bring it up like you're a vegan talking about your diet or a gay person talking about their sexuality, talking about the color of their sheets and shit. But you could, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to crowbar it into things, take it, and just beat people over the head with it. But I'm sure it will, like, okay, you said you're into politics. Well, I mean, like, a good fraction of being into politics is talking about politics in the right company at the right time. That's a good portion of politics. At least you're listening to other people talk about politics. And eventually you're going to come across people talking about that. And you're going to think about it might be a YouTube comment. It could be a retweet of maybe Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson released this funny ass video of him. He's like, Donald Trump's a fucking pussy. And, maybe you just thought that was funny and you share it on your timeline, or fuck it, who knows? Maybe you tell somebody haphazardly that you're into Gary Johnson and they're really into Gary Johnson, so they get you a shirt. You inadvertently wear that shirt 3 weeks later to the grocery store. Some girl looks at you, she thinks you're sexy, and she thinks to herself, maybe if I was into Gary Johnson, I could get a sexy guy like that. She's thinking to herself, that's the third sexy guy I've seen wearing a Gary Johnson shirt. And I like sexy guys. And that's what that young lady's thinking. Cue the music. Ooh. Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, and I do agree. But I just, here's the other thing. I don't know enough about politics to even be confident that Gary Johnson's the best choice. I really don't.
Go to isidewith.com. You answer a short questionnaire, and at least it will point you in the right direction. There's certainly more research you would probably want to do after that. But
I understand libertarianism. I get like the ideals behind it, and I agree with them. I agree with most of them. I really do. I think there should be some regulation in larger parts of major banks and corporations and things like that. And I don't know if Gary Johnson's against that or for it or what he is.
Well, I don't know about that, but what I do know is Gary Johnson's down for another call. So we're gonna go ahead and do this one for Gary. 3, 2, 1, Gary. Sammy.
Thank you for calling Holidays in Columbia.
How you doing there? It's Jerry calling.
Hello.
How you doing?
Thank you. Good.
All right. Well, I got a little bit of a sticky situation going on with me, and I want to get to the bottom of this. And I ain't accusing no one of doing nothing wrong, but
May I help you?
Now I came in there for a stay a few nights ago, and okay. And I came in there with my mentally retarded son.
Let me check.
His name's Jared Jr.
Yeah.
Okay? Quiet down there, Jared. My son, like I said, he is mentally retarded, and he does misbehave. So some of this burden is on me. I do. I acknowledge that. However, if my son pulls his pecker out, that don't mean your maid can come suck him off. You understand? He don't know no better.
All right.
Do you see how that would be the adult's responsibility in that particular situation?
Okay, sir. Let me transfer you to my manager's desk. And,
Okay, please tell him what's going on, because I don't want to have to keep repeating myself. Jerry, you relax.
I'm sure you need to explain him again because.
All right.
I'll put you on a brief hold.
Hey, hang on there for a sec. Before you send.
Nice try, though.
Good evening. This is Manny. How can I help you?
Hey there, Manny. It's Jerry calling in. I just spoke to the woman down at the front desk. Did she bring you up to speed on this situation?
She told me a little bit about why you wanted to speak to me.
Well, let me ask you what you already heard, because I don't want to have to be going around repeating myself if I don't have.
She told me that you were here a couple of days ago.
Okay, I came in there. You probably seen us.
And that you have a son, a boy, that you.
I don't. Just because my son pulls his pecker out, that don't mean that your team can go start sucking him off.
You're saying that he wasn't treated correctly by a housekeeping maid? That's basically what I know.
That's putting it a bit lightly, sir.
Okay.
Now, okay. Now let me kind of just run through this real quick, because I
have a quick question for you, sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
How come you didn't report this? Because this is pretty serious, at least to me, and I'm sure it is to you.
You're goddamn right. It's serious, and I just got done piecing this thing together myself. And now I don't want to have to go into the nitty gritty details of how exactly I got this figured out. But let me just say it took some time to set in. Okay, now let me kind of walk you through what I experienced, and I would like to hear how you would handle this situation, because it ain't exactly such a clear-cut case, all right? Let's say you walk down to get a bucket of ice. You leave your mentally retarded son in the room, thinking it's safe. I'm just going down the hall. You get back, and the maid is jacking him off.
Is what?
They're jacking him off and sucking off his pecker, sir. Now, he does pull it out, but he's mentally retarded. Who's going to be the adult in that situation? I was very disturbed. Please, now, if you please tell me what I should do. What would you do if you're me?
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly on what you're saying to me. Are you saying that when you came back,
my son like I said, he is mentally retarded, and he does have an issue where he plays with himself, and he kind of.
You're saying that there was a maid that was masturbating your son?
My mentally retarded son, yes, that
right.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Now I leave my son there, and I expect a bit of civility coming from.
And that she was performing oral sex on him.
That's correct. And he got a big old hog, and he does have an issue where he pulls it out.
How old is your son, sir?
I don't. Just because my son pulls his pecker out, that don't mean that your team can go start sucking him off.
With all due respect.
But he's got the mind of a 5-year-old boy. He's mentally retarded.
I understand. So, again, how come you did not notify us?
Life can only beat you down so many times. And I got to tell you, there are times when you just want to look the other way. And you want to say, you know what? I'm going to let this one go. But the more and more I think about it, the more I don't appreciate your maid jacking his big old dick off, sucking him off, slurping him down. Now, he's retarded. He's mentally retarded.
Do you have a confirmation number on your reservation?
Now, I could pull it up somewhere, but...
I mean, or give me the last name on the reservation.
Falco.
What is it?
Falco.
F-A...
Yeah, that's right.
L-C-O. And the first name?
My first name's Jerry, but, sir, I can't be sitting here bitter and, kind of fucking sputtering them off and sitting here talking bullshit with you about the room details and the numbers and all this stuff. I want to hear your explanation for why you got somebody you hired, I guess. You hired somebody, and you got them. You're supposed to train them, I presume, or maybe you just pull one of these Mexicans out, and they'll be jacking off the,
Hold on, because sir, one moment, please.
Why would she do that?
Sir,
I'm
listen
done
to me.
answering your questions. How about you?
Okay, wait a minute, because everything that you're saying, these allegations are pretty serious. And before I continue, I need to pull up your reservation. Can you please give me the name that was on the reservation?
Yeah, I'll get to that, sir. But
I need it right now in order to continue.
Yeah, I'll get to that, but I need you to treat me with a little bit more respect. I got a couple of questions.
Everything that you've mentioned right now, without you going on, and that's fine. You can go ahead and tell me, but this is pretty serious right now. And before I continue, I need to have all your information so that I can pull up this reservation. So if you don't mind giving me the full name of the reservation.
Okay, I get it. All right, it's Jerry Falco. And
hold on one second. You said the first name is Jerry?
How many damn times do I need to say?
Sir, I'm trying to get the right information. The last name is F-A-L-C-O?
Yeah, and
And the first name, can you please spell it for me?
It's Jerry, for God's sakes.
Okay. And what were the dates that you were here?
Hell, fine. Now, why was she so good at? Why was she sucking off a retard?
Sir, please. You don't have to use that terminology with me. I understand the situation. Wait one moment. Let me see. Do you have a telephone number, sir, where I can call you?
I don't have to use that term. You're telling me not to swear after
because I'm just trying to have a conversation with you in order to help you. But I mean, I get the picture of what you're explaining to me. That's all. And I'm just trying to be very courteous with you.
This just kind of bums me out a little bit.
And the reason why I'm asking you is so that I can find out, because my next question to you, and the reason why I want to know what the dates were and what room you were in, because that's the only way that I'm going to find out who was that maid. So I need to know this information.
Sir, I am about to start crying.
Okay, sir, but I cannot help you if you don't give me this information, because if there is a person here...
I just figured out... You're right, sir. I just figured out a way we could do this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you all of the information over, and here's what else. I'm going to include a picture of my mentally retarded kid's big old cock. You show it to the maids, and whichever one starts drooling, that's the one who sucked him off, I bet. That's sort of a way we can test them, because I bet they'll have a sense memory. They'll have a real visual reaction.
Okay, sir. Like I said, in order to help you, I need to find your reservation.
Well, here, how about you just give me the maid's phone number, because I kind of want to talk.
Right, sir. Obviously, I cannot do that. I cannot provide any employee information out to anybody that calls.
Maybe she can give me a little action, and maybe I can forget about it.
Like I said, would you like to give me the confirmation number?
I don't. Just because my son pulls his pecker out, that don't mean that your team can go start sucking them off and slurping them on, chugging their cum.
This conversation is now over.
That is irresponsible on every level.
So that was a good call, Richard. You didn't mention Gary Johnson, so no points for that, unfortunately. But he stands for Truth and Freedom, and that call was about truth and freedom. And I really don't know why you hate America so much. Are you with the terrorists?
No, absolutely no way.
It's free, Mark, because America's founded on freedom, boy. All right, what are you, a Muslim?
Come on, man. I'm the most patriotic person, you know what I mean?
You really are. You really are.
I'm very patriotic. I hate terrorists. But I think that people are greedy monsters, and you have to have some, like not barely any, but some regulations.
All right, let me get my bearings on you though here. What did you think about that movie that was like the biography of Chris Christy that was directed by Clint Eastwood? I can't say the name. I forgot it.
Chris Christy?
Not Chris Christy. Damn it. I'm so fucking...
Oh, the American Sniper.
American Sniper. Yeah, did you like that movie?
Yeah, I did.
Now, did you realize that it was also a semi-flawed movie and that there was laughable at points, but also it was extremely patriotic, right?
I don't even know if I'd call it laughable. I thought it was a really solid movie. What parts did you think were laughable?
Well, there's some points that were so extreme, maybe I had to laugh because it was hitting me so effectively with patriotism that I didn't even know I had.
Okay.
That I almost had to laugh. It's like you laugh at a movie when you're excited about it, but in a way I was also kind of laughing at it because I was it was like a defense mechanism, but also I did almost find it cheesy how hard it was being effective, but it was kind of funny how effective it was. You know what I mean? It was comedic to me because I almost didn't even know I had it inside of me to a certain degree.
Well, you know what? Patriotism is sort of a complex concept.
It is.
A lot of people think about it and you sort of associate it with just being blindly loyal to a nation and nationalism and sort of all these different ideas that can be attached to it. But really, being patriotic at the end of the day, what I think it comes down to is respecting people. And this is a part of being patriotic. The part that I care about, that where I actually think that I am patriotic, is respecting the military and soldiers and people who go to war. Not because they're going like, oh, I buy into the cause, but because they're going, wow, my people are going over to fight, and if I don't go with them, I'm gonna feel bad. My brothers and sisters in America are gonna be getting fucking blown away by terrorists, and that's sort of what Chris Kyle was all about. He saw 9/11 happen. I'm not saying this is what he was about in real life. I don't fucking know, but in the movie, the character, he saw 9/11 and he felt obligated to go over there and use his skills to help his fellow soldiers not get killed by terrorists. So that,
and I think a little bit of it, what it was for me too, is that was all very touching. But there's maybe some latent homosexuality inside me, as well as the latent patriotism that Bradley Cooper was stirring up. Because Bradley Cooper was so good in that movie, I kind of wanted to kiss him on the lips. I didn't even want him to shave first. I wanted to leave the stubble, and I leave my stubble, and we almost start a little fire.
A lot of jacked off to some of the scenes in that movie, and it's not spoken about very often, but I think that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, I mean, I type in American into YouPorn, and actually what it is, it's all fucking American Sniper gay sort of clips, like with sexy music and like someone jerking off onto an American Sniper. It's really taken the country by storm. Speaking of trends.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's being a patriot as well. Jacking off the movie is being a patriot too.
I don't know where to go from here.
I was going to commit.
So dark, so fast. Just have like a serious political debate, sound very reasonable, and like at the 4-minute mark, just go dark, and just stay there and just marinate in it.
That should be our podcast. We should have a political guest on our podcast, and then we just go super gay with it around the 4-minute mark every time. But we don't break. We just sit there and we just get gayer, and we're dead serious about gayness and how good it is for the government, and it's patriotic.
That's the hardest part, is not breaking. Which, let's be honest, our real podcast is we sit around and every podcast we think of what would be a good concept for a podcast to do next time, but not this time. It's all outtakes. It's all outtakes and planning for a podcast that will never happen.
We never get to the actual podcast.
Yep, we're back on the Pitching a Podcast Network podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our Patreon and our Twitter, Facebooks. And what we do here is we're just going to keep trying to make up podcasts that never happen. It's just going to be just bad idea after bad idea, just going on into infinity. What else? There's Gmail, and there's the Tumblr.
If you want to pitch a podcast on our Facebook, tell us what you would like to hear us talk about. What idea would you like to hear us not do?
We'll go over it and we'll consider your podcast idea. We'll probably at the end of it agree it'll be a great podcast, and we'll never do it. Do you remember the podcast idea we had where what we did was we were going to go onto other people's shitty podcasts and crash podcasts and record it ourselves, and our podcast was crashing other people's shitty podcasts? I still think there's a solid segment in there.
That's a brilliant idea, and
I thought it was genius. You just drank and farted into the microphone, and then we started talking about what Game of Thrones or whatever gay shit you're on.
Not Game of Thrones. I don't watch that shit.
Okay, good.
Do you watch it?
No, fuck no. I get so annoyed when people talk about that show or any show. Watch your show. Talk about your show with people who watch your show.
I hate when people go, "Oh man, you're really fucking up by not watching Game of Thrones." Am I? I don't think so.
Yeah. Here we're gonna test this premise. I haven't watched Sopranos, and I've only seen an episode here or there, just out of context, at a hotel room while I'm getting my dick sucked by a tranny.
You're really fucking up.
I really am, aren't I?
See, The Sopranos kind of transcends that rule, though, because it is such.
It's a movie. You're missing a movie.
Well, I mean, it's as good. It's in the tier of greatness as great films, which is very hard for a television show to do. Because
there's been like 2 or 3. True Detectives, Fargo, Sopranos, maybe Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad was kind of like a crappy movie, really stretched out to be an awesome series.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just very hard to maintain that level of quality for a whole series. But The Sopranos was able to do it, and they did it better than a lot of movies have ever done it. You know, Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad, another example of casting being so perfect that it made the show exponentially better. And I really can't think of any other examples besides those two.
I'll tell you what, though, James Gandolfini in True Romance, fucking dude, forget about it, man.
He was a scary man. He was a scary man in that movie.
Scary man!
You know, I jacked off to him in that movie.
I jacked off to that part really fucking hard. I mean, I got multiple uses. You know, normally you can't go back to a porn but 1 or 2 times. Like, it's only your favorite porns that you're gonna, jack off to more than once.
You'll go to it once, twice a week forever.
It's a go-to for sure.
It's a go-to, Jack.
I mean, let's do the top 5. It's Gary Busey, the True Romance with the guy from The Sopranos. God rest his soul, but I forgot his dumb name.
James Gandolfini.
Gandolfini. And then what was the one we were just talking about? It got dark.
Chris Kyle.
What was it?
Chris Kyle.
Oh,
True Romance.
Yeah. True Romance. Oh yeah, Chris Kyle, American Sniper, and
yeah, of course.
And I want to throw Brokeback Mountain in there, but I'm gonna go Prince of Persia.
Yeah, that's the big 3. But he's dead now, and he lives on when we jack off to him.
You're goddamn right. It's nuts for you, Chris Kyle. Because America. Because bald fucking eagles. Because Gary Johnson, god damn it. America. Freedom. Bald eagles. Riding lawnmowers. And an AR-15 for every child in America. Who are we gonna call? We're gonna call the female Ghostbusters. You're goddamn right. Who we calling now? Motherfucker.
Okay, I think I just found the mother of all independent movie rental places.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a little pithy white kid.
That's what we're gonna get. This place is like it's called Vidiots, and apparently it's like famous.
Yeah.
I guess David O. Russell owns this place.
Listen, I'm a friend of David's.
Act like you're David O. Russell's like fuck toy.
Listen, David just said I could come in there and do some shit to your butthole. So I run this bitch.
No, don't.
I run this bitch, you motherfucker.
Like you're a spoiled brat. Okay.
I'm gonna come in there and fire all you little bitches.
You're all strung out.
Yeah. I'm like Terry, deal with it. I dropped my cigarette, Terry.
Okay, I'm calling him now. All right.
Hello, Vidiots.
Yes, hello?
Hi.
Hi, I was just wondering what you guys have in there.
Sorry, what was the question again?
You guys do like rentals and sales?
We have some for sale. It's mostly a pretty vast rental library, and then we do have a small section of things for sale as well.
So I'm just going to bring you up to speed. I'm doing a video project. I'm just going to get a lot of media. I'm going to mash it all together.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm looking for the Lord of the Rings.
For the rental selection, we have 50,000 titles from all times. Anything that you're looking for, we'll have in that vein.
Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, we have Did you want to go through a list of specific titles right now?
Well, do you have VHS and CDs and DVDs?
We do. Of the really famous movies, if we have acquired a copy on DVD, we no longer have the VHS.
Schindler's List? Shawshank Redemption?
I'm sorry?
Tom, I imagine your Tom Cruise selection is up to speed. You get Fargo?
Yeah, we carry that.
So listen, I'm friends with David Russell. I don't know if he has to call ahead on this. Is this making any sense to you?
Yeah, I can understand it.
Listen, I'm going to pass you over to my manager because I'm having a really hard time finding my cigarettes.
Okay.
And he's going to organize this because I'm not sure if I'm getting through to you. Like, Life is Beautiful?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go through a list of specific titles, I can tell you what we have in.
Chris, could you just...
Hey guys, Chris here.
Because I just can't.
Yeah, I got you. I know what you need.
All right. Well,
Yeah, feel free to take off, and I can. I've been listening to the call. I've had you on my Bluetooth.
The Matrix Reloaded.
Okay. Feel free to hop off the call, and I can take it from here. Sir, I'm sorry. What is your name?
My name is Clay.
Clay. Okay. Nice to meet you. We're actually working with Dave Russell, and he's doing some F-frame stuff. And Marty and Dave have been talking, and they're working on a project together. This place came very highly recommended.
E.T.
Are you?
Okay.
Do you know who Dave Russell is?
1982.
Yeah. We know David Russell.
He's a friend of the store, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And they're working on this little project. He said that if there's anywhere in Los Angeles, you would be the place. So we're gonna kind of storm in. We got a big list of titles. I'm sure. So I kind of
tell him we're gonna bring a box.
Okay, Marty, could you?
It's 170.
I can talk to him.
We're gonna need them for
Okay.
a month.
So
175.
yeah. Okay. So we are going to come in there. We've got, I think, over 175 titles. It's going to be a bit of a big project. Do you know when you're going to need these back by?
The other guy was saying something about transferring between formats. I told him a lot of the famous titles we don't have on VHS anymore. We only have them on DVD. I didn't fully understand.
So what he does,
what the needs were in that arena.
So what he does is he takes a film. You know, I have a rudimentary understanding of the project, but they take a film and they put it. So they'll transfer it from DVD over to VHS. Then they'll go from DVD and then VHS.
George Clooney.
Marty has the list. I'm gonna hop back on another call. Just give him the list, and then I'll pop right back over. I'm actually gonna be talking to Dave, so I'll be back in a second. Thanks, guys.
1992. Listen, Jeff, is that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, Jeff.
My name is Clay. If you have a list, it might be easier to, like a list with 170 titles. Probably if you could email it, that would be great, because I have customers here.
Okay, well, you're a movie rental place, so I'm not convinced that you have any customers, okay?
Okay.
Now, so you're not clear if you've got VHS or if you've got DVDs, or am I not clear about what you're not clear about? Guardians of the Galaxy?
With the famous titles, we'll have it on DVD.
North by Northwest? Beetlejuice, Apollo 13.
Yeah, we have that.
Will Smith, After Earth.
Yeah, we carry all of those. But if we want to go through all of them, it'd be so much easier.
Well, listen, I'm really concerned about where you guys fall down on Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I'm sure we have probably all of his movies.
Okay, now did Chris touch base with you about the time frame on this?
Not exactly. I was explaining to him that if with that much of that much of a title load,
Blazing Saddles, 1974. Bloody Sunday, 2002. But so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop you over to Chris. He's going to get your information, and we're going to wrap this whole thing up, all right?
Okay.
Just probably some light billing information.
Hey, guys. Okay. Now, I will send you over the list, but before we make our decision on that, I got a little short list here, very small list. I'm just going to give you the titles. These are some of the more obscure titles. I just want to make sure you got these ones. Okay. And then I can send you over the more comprehensive list. Let me just rattle these off.
Stanley Kubrick.
Okay, Stanley Kubrick. Okay. Let's see here. Do you got the Company of Wolves?
Yeah, it's like a Neil Jordan movie, right? Yeah, we have that.
Exactly. Okay. The Outing.
The Outing?
Yeah.
I do not have anything under that title now.
Okay. And let's see. You got Howard the Duck.
Yeah, Howard the Duck we have.
Boxing Helena.
Yeah, that we do not have on DVD. No, we have that on VHS tape.
Okay, that's a little shocking. Well, I thought you guys had that. Don't worry about it. You guys have Dead End Drive-In. I'm sorry.
Dead End Drive-In we have, yeah.
Okay. V.I. Warshawski.
How did that one go again?
It's V.I. Warshawski.
V.I. V, like a V. Okay. That's another one we do not have on DVD. We have that on tape.
Okay.
Robert Redford?
Let's see here. Do you have Crimson Blood?
Crimson Blood, you said?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on.
Chris?
Night
Falls?
Is a Robert Redford movie called?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna hit fast forward on that one.
Are you sure? I just popped that into IMDb and I don't see that title. What, did we just go past that one?
We'll skip that one.
Okay, so then what was the last title?
Some of these don't have IMDb's. Some of these are obscure, and that's why we came to you guys.
Okay, I mean, if something doesn't have an IMDb, and we have things that got official DVD releases going all the way back, or VHS releases.
What's the adult selection situation going on with that?
It's limited to the real famous cult stuff like Russ Meyer, Randy Metzger.
Is that any of that? Is any of that full penetration, or is that soft core?
That's softcore stuff.
Yeah, go ahead and slap us with that email address, and we're going to shoot you over just a load of movies.
And I can go through this when.
And you're Jeff, Matt, Clay, Chris.
I'm Clay.
Matt Damon.
Clay. His name is Clay, and we have the email, and we will be in touch with you. And thank you so much for the help. Sorry for taking up your time. If we can get any of that, any kind of penetration stuff, would be helpful.
The only thing we're going to have is probably we've got like Debbie Does Dallas and Deep Throat. That's probably it.
That's full penetration.
We're working with the classics.
That is full penetration.
Yeah, I believe so.
What's the Ed Wood situation?
We've got a section for him. Got a bunch of his movies.
You have a full Ed Wood.
I gotta tell you, Gay, I'm really impressed.
Cool. Well, I look forward to seeing the list, and we can get that all set up for you.
It's a good selection.
Okay, much appreciated. We will be in touch.
Sounds good.
Do you guys have your own? Do you have crates there, or should we bring our own crates and boxes?
Crates? Yeah, if you need crates, you should probably bring them. We have some bags we can give you, but we don't have crates.
Bags? No boxes?
Not really, no.
Just the box. All right.
I got some.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's a little disappointing, but everything else sounds really awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll talk soon.
Fight Club 7. Brad Pitt's good. Poor guy.
That was disappointing. I actually thought they'd have more.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Goodbye.